Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Gladiator Beast deck profile. Now it has been a minute since I did this one, and this just got new support in Chaos Impact. I'm really excited to build this one because this is actually a really fun deck to play around with. That's really old school, that used to top all the time and became a tier 0 deck at one point, and it actually won Worlds. Like, this deck is awesome. This deck is really fun to play around with. It's just been getting support over the years, and I'm really excited to be able to play around with it again. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification, become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So, first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Augustus. So, Augustus is the best, in my opinion, one of the best cards in the entire deck, that when it's special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your hand in defense position and shuffle it into the deck during the end phase. All Gladiator Beast monsters share the ability, except for the normal monster that I'm playing, that at the end of the battle phase, if they attacked or was attacked, you can shuffle them into the deck and then special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, except another copy of itself. Then we play 2 of the new level 7 Gladiator Beasts, Vespiaris, I think is how you say it, but I'm probably butchering that. But its effect is at the start of the damage step, if your Gladiator Beast monster battles a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you only use this effect once per turn. And then once per turn, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, all monsters you control gain 500 attack. At the end of the battle phase, if it battled, shuffle the deck, special summon a Gladiator Beast monster, which is pretty good as well. I just play a single copy of Noxious. Now, it is important to actually play the high-level ones because you do want to go into Tamer Editor as quickly as possible. So that's why you play the high-level ones. And I play 6 of the high-level Gladiator Beast monsters. Noxious is kind of good. It's not as good as it used to be. I really wanted this card to be like a 3 of. But it says when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, change the attack target to this card and proceed to damage calculation. And this card cannot be destroyed by battle. And this card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can send a Gladiator Beast from your deck to the graveyard. And at the end of the battle phase, if it battled, shuffle in the deck and then special summon a different Gladiator Beast. But it's not as great as it used to be, so I just play it as a one of. One copy of Darius. Darius is really good because when it's special summoned by the effect of Glad Beast monster, you get to target a Glad Beast monster in your grave and instantly special summon it. So Monster Reborns it to be able to play into other stuff. One copy of Equest. Equest is really good because you can, if special summon, you get to add a Gladiator Beast monster from your graveyard back to your hand. I played 2 copies of Bestiari. Bestiari is, you know, I really feel like it's a 2 of. Like, some people just play it as a 1, but I really feel like it's a 2 of because it lets you go into Geysera so easily, and it MSTs as soon as it hits the field when it's been special summoned by a Glad Beast monster. So I play it as a 2 of in this build. One copy of the new Gladiator Beast, Autorix. Autorix, I probably am butchering that one too, but if it's special summoned by the effect of Glad Beast monster, it's one of the most unique ones. You can send a Glad Beast monster from your deck to the grave, or extra deck to the grave, and this card's level and name becomes that monster's until the end phase of the turn, which is really cool, really cool. And then at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you shuffle into the deck and then special summon a different Glad Beast. That's it for the main deck Glad Beasts that we play that are effect monsters. For the normal monster, we play 3 copies of Ondel. Ondel is basically here for the Rescue Rabbit plays and the Unexpected Die to get on the field as quickly as possible so we can go for Test Panther and then go for Tamer Editor in turn. 2 copies of Test Tiger. Test Tiger is here for link material that if you control a Glad Beast monster, you can special summon it from your hand. Then you contribute this card to target a Glad Beast monster you control and then shuffle it into the deck. And then special summon 1 Glad Beast monster in your deck, and is treated as if it was special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast. It's going -1, but it's good as link material. I almost thought about bumping this up to 3, but I'm just playing it as a 2 of right now. 2 copies of Rescue Rabbit. I just play the 2 copies in here because I do play the Unexpected Die. You could drop the Unexpected Die and play a single copy of Rescue, or play 3 Rescue Rabbits and then play 2 of something else that you wanted to play. If you wanted to increase the Glad Beast count, you could. But at the moment, I'm just playing the 2 copies of Rescue Rabbit and the 3 Unexpected Die. And then for the last 3 monsters, I played 3 copies of Ash Blossom because Ash Blossom is really good in the deck to be able to stop your opponent from hand trap, or to stop your opponent from doing all sorts of shenanigans and all sorts of stuff against you like that. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, I'm going to be playing 2 copies of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is really good in the deck because your Test Tiger just requires a copy of a Glad Beast monster, at least one Glad Beast monster. So you can actually make Thousand Eyes Restrict, gobble up an opponent's monster, normal summon a Glad Beast monster, and then go for Test Tiger or Test Panther, which is a really good option for you guys. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is really good to stop your opponent from hand trapping you, and it's just a really good card to be able to just, stop them from doing that. And a lot of times they're going to try and Ash Blossom your Glad Beast monsters because you're going to try and shuffle them into the deck, and then you're going to be like, Ash Blossom. And then you're like, oh, I lost my card because it's shuffled into the deck for cost, and I'm like, I have nothing now. So Call by the Grave is extremely important in this deck. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn lets us reborn our stuff, and you need, your Glad Beast back. 3 copies of Gladiator Proving Ground, because they got something to prove. You get to add a level 4 lower Glad Beast monster from your deck to your hand, so a lot of them are level 4 lower, so you can just add any of the ones that you need to your hand. 3 copies of Comeback. Comeback is kind of ironic because the deck is making a comeback now, but Comeback is such a good card. Basically, it's a Monster Reborn, and the monster cannot be destroyed by battle with the turn it's summoned. And you have to special summon one that has a different type from the ones you control. That's not that big of a deal because the majority of them are different types than the ones you control. And this card is like a mandatory 3 of. Like, it's so good. 3 copies of Rejection, which is the new Gladiator Rejection. Your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monster you control except during the battle phase. And then if a Gladiator Beast monster is special summoned from your main deck, you can special summon another Gladiator Beast monster with a different type as the one that was special summoned in defense position, which is really good. Like, it just makes so much more value for the Gladiator Beast that you're already special summoning. You're basically getting card advantage off of special summoning 2 instead of 1, and if you summon something like Augustus, you're really getting some value. Then I play 3 copies of Unexpected Die. Unexpected Die is basically here to summon Ondel and get us some plays off to get into Test Panther as quickly as possible. So that's it for the main deck. That's it for the spells. Let's get into the traps. We do actually play 2 traps in the deck, which I actually play 1 copy of Chariot and 1 copy of Charge. Chariot's basically an Infernity Barrier that if you activate it while you control an Infernity, or not an Infernity monster, if you activate this card while you control a Gladiator Beast monster, negate the activation of an effect monster and destroy it. And then the Charge lets you target face-up monster your opponent, or face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gladiator Beast cards you control with different names and destroy them. This card comes in clutch. This card really comes in clutch to be able to just set these and then immediately destroy cards on your opponent's side of the field, negate hand traps as well, or negate cards on, monster effects and stuff like that. So these are actually recyclable with Equest. So these are really, really good. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of the new Gladiator Beast Fusion monster, which is the big boss monster of the extra deck, or the deck now. Usually you're just going to special summon it off of Editor, but if you're going to try and summon it the normal way, it does require you to use your copy of the new level 7 one. It requires you to use this as a material and then 2 other Gladiator Beast monsters that you control. And it must be special summoned from your extra deck and cannot be special summoned by either way, or can it be special summoned by other ways. By shuffling the materials from you control in the deck, and you do not use Polymerization. Once per turn, when your opponent activates an effect, you can negate the effect of a monster, and then it also destroys the monster, and you can choose the attack target your opponent can, or if your opponent's going to attack you, you can choose the attack targets, which is really good as well, because it's a 3500 beat stick. Like, they're not going to attack you with this. And it also has the ability that you're never going to use. At the end of the battle phase of this card battle, you can turn it to the deck, and if you use special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, you're never going to use that once you put it on the field. It's going to stay on the field until it goes to the grave, and then you're going to revive it with your copy of Comeback. 1 copy of Heraclenos. Heraclenos is the old boss monster of the deck. It's still good, and it's really good to put both of these on the field at the same time. If you can make them both at the same time, it's awesome. But basically the effect of Heraclenos is you can discard a card from your hand to negate the activation of a spell or trap and destroy it. So basically they work together, so you can basically negate monsters and spells and traps. So it's really, really good to put them both on the field at the same time. So the rest of the deck, I play 1 copy of the Narcus. Narcus is okay because it's like if you're going to summon these 3, if you're going to drag the game out, I do summon them out for style points. and it's the final level one that requires 3 materials. And basically, it cannot be destroyed by battle. And if this card attacks it or is attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the battle phase. And you shuffle it back into the deck, and then special summon 2 Glad Beast monsters from your deck. 2 copies of Tamer Editor. Tamer Editor is really good in the deck. It's probably like, the deck is basically Tamer Editor Turbo. If you can basically special summon a Glad Beast monster from your extra deck that's a fusion monster from your extra deck once per turn, ignoring its summoning conditions, and at the end of the battle phase, if a Glad Beast monster you control battled, you can shuffle that monster into the deck, or extra deck special summon another Glad Beast monster for your deck. And then 1 copy of Geyseris. I'm thinking about bumping Geyseris up to 2, but I'm just playing it as a 1-of right now. Basically, when it's special summoned, you get to target 2 cards on the field and destroy them, and then it requires Bestiari to summon it. So that's the only reason I play the 2 Bestiaries, is to go into this. The new card that's awesome is Test Panther. We play 2 copies of this. Test Panther is awesome because if it's link summoned, you get to add a Gladiator Beast monster from your Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand, which can be Comeback, Rejection, Augustus. It just depends on what you're trying to do in your combo with Glad Beast monsters. And its link arrows are both down, which is extremely important. And you can target a Glad Beast monster you control, shuffle it into the deck, and then special summon another Glad Beast monster from your deck. And if you do special summon, you could special summon that monster with a different name, and it's treated as special summon with the effect of a Glad Beast monster, which is extremely important. I just played one of the other Glad Beast link monsters for the arrows as well, I guess. And it makes it so your Glad Beast monsters can't be destroyed by battle. And it also has the ability that you can return this card to the extra deck special summon 2 Glad Beast monster with different names. So it's good at times, but it's a good 1-of. I probably wouldn't play it at more than 1. I wish this would have been the first one and this would have been the second one, because this is really, really good. Millenniumize Restrict for our targets for instant fusion. Link Spider, because this card actually comes in clutch. Okay, so let me play you a quick scenario. Let's say you open up 2 of these. You're bricked. You think you're bricked, but you didn't. You normal summon 1, and you link for Link Spider. You use Link Spider's effect, special summon the second one, and then link the Link Spider and the Undel together, and then special summon Test Panther, and then go off. Like, that's the big thing about Link Spider. It's really pivotal to play Link Spider. 1 copy of Link Rebo. Link Rebo is here for the copies of Thousand Eyes and Millenniumize. And then 1 copy of Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy for the Augustuses. You can actually overlay both Augustuses to make Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy. Say that 3 times fast. And then negate spell cards, which is really good. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really fun deck to play around with. It's awesome to be able to play these old school decks to get legacy support, because it actually made the deck really fun, because what you're usually going to end on in my build is you're going to usually end on something like this, where you're going to have the Test Panther up and you're going to have both of these monsters during your end phase on the field. And then after you do that, you can normal summon somethings in the next turn, and then make the Test Panther over here, and then use the Tamer Editor's effect to then go for Heracleanos over here, and then pass, and then go for something else the next turn, and go for something like Narcissus, and then have all 3 on the field, and then you're really having some style points. So it's just some options there for you guys if you want to play it. You could drop out this card because it's probably the least, not the greatest one of them all. You could play something like another Geyseris if you want to, but I still like playing the 1-of because it does have its times when it comes in handy. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Definitely don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad. And I'll definitely see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys around. See you later, guys.